Well, good morning, everybody. It's Danny and Wanda back from Deepsouth Homestead. Yep, I got a hoodie on this morning. Woke up this morning. We went from 95-degree heat index just a couple of days ago. We're 46 degrees this morning. So that's a pretty drastic change for us here at Deep South. We are in the process now. We have this little sweet potato patch here that has not been harvested in over 200 days now. So it's time to get them out of the ground, see if there's anything there. I don't know that there'll be much of a harvest, but we're going to try. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through, we're going to pull all the vines up first. We're going to feed them to the cows. The cows hear our voice, and here they come. Now, these are the Mr. Owl potatoes, the Evangelines. These are our sweet potatoes we've had for years. And somewhere amongst this, they might be a few white ones. I mean, they have disappeared from us this year. We don't know where they went. Come on, Dexter. Come on here, boy. They love sweet potato vines. And you might say some will get on one side of the fence and some will get on the other side. They always do that.
There's our babies. We got 3 of them over here.
Yep.
Miss Candy, she found it, but Dolly went the wrong way with a couple of babies.
Miss Dolly, you got to come around.
Hey, Candy. There's Daisy and Dixie. And the baby, that's Daisy's baby right there. That's the mama and baby. And the little one in the back is Candy's baby. And that's Candy back there, and that's her baby. This is Daisy and her baby. This is Dixie, and that's her baby. And Miss Dolly over there that ain't paying no attention and coming over around like she ought to is due any time in the next month. And this is Mr. Dexter.
Well, now that we got past the cow escapade, these things are actually starting to bloom again and actually starting to regrow now that we got a cool morning. We've missed all the rain. We didn't get any rain. We haven't had rain now for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I reckon. And the ponds are all like 6 foot low and about to dry up, to be honest with you. Today is the Sunday, the 8th of October.
And it's about 7 o'clock in the morning.
It is 7 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it is 7 o'clock. And we're going to try to get in here and pull all these vines up. And then we're going to go get the Cub tractor, and we're going to see if that Cub tractor will dig into this hard concrete soil and then see if we have anything underneath these after it hasn't rained all summer just about on these potatoes. Worst year we've ever had for potatoes. Oh, that ain't a good sign.
Uh-oh, what you found?
See that right there? That's fire ants. Fire ants have done burrowed holes in that one.
So you won't get no sweet potatoes, so let's hope they hadn't done all of them.
Let's hope they hadn't done all of them. Miss Dixie,
They fighting over them. Dixie inhaled it, and then she said, "Where's the more?"
Dolly's missing out with me. She is pregnant.
Tried. Candy took it away from her.
got some good eating taters. That's really good for bacon and stuff, and they're not a lot of damage to them. They look good. I guess the main thing I like about them is there ain't no dirt stuck to them. It's just dust. And, oh, there we go. Look at this. The white ones. The white ones that come up missing. We found 3 of them. Cloud got into a few of them. We'll have to eat those first. Our rabbit food. Yeah, the further down the road we come, we noticed we got some ant damage in them here. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't ruin the potato, but I mean,
a lot of it'll cut off.
A lot of it just cut off. But then the rabbits get it. You know, I mean, that's one thing we have to look at, and you see on the ends of them there where they got to it a little bit. And these type we have to go ahead and eat because these don't store good.
No, it's mainly on this end.
And it's mainly right on the end of the tater. Now, I'm not. It's the end of the tater that was coming up out of the ground. It wasn't on the part that was in the soil. It's on the part coming up out of the ground there. So
they had just started.
Just getting started, and it's good we getting them out of here because that's the same thing on that one. You know, with the drought we've had this year, and we're in extreme drought. We're not in just a drought. We're in extreme. I'm surprised they even done that good. 1 5-gallon bucket to the top.
Off one row.
Off one row. This is a 60 foot row. Well, actually, it's probably about 50 down here. It's 60 foot up there. It's probably about 50 right here. We normally would get this in the first, under a normal good gardening year, we'd get this much in probably the first 10, 15 feet of the row. But nevertheless, we're thankful for what we do get. We're going to come back now. We're going to plow the road next to it and see the further up the hill we go, do they get any better as we go up the hill? These are our potatoes that we have saved over the years. I don't know what you'd really call them because they're a mixture of a bunch of different taters. They just...
More of a light skin.
Yeah, they're a light skin. Good tasting potato.
Now, Mr. Owl's are the darker...
Mr. Owl's will have a purple looking skin on them.
Dark skin.
And long and slender. And we'll know when we get to them. Okay, this row, a lot of we'll be saving for slips for next year, but mostly rabbit feed on this row.
A lot of long, skinny. They'll make some good fries.
Yeah,
some of them.
Some of them will, but most of them just go feed the rabbits. Second row, I got a little off on my row right here. The ground's so hard to plow, I went to running to the side. Well, we got the third row plowed. Definitely our best row yet, and we're still digging our potatoes. And this is not the Mr. Owl potatoes yet, although you see these are our potatoes here. This is one of Mr. Owl potatoes here. The vines grow across, and this was on the end of one of the vines out there. You can see his is a dark, dark purple, and then ours is a lighter color like this. And here's another one right here I see. You know, you can definitely tell the differences. These come off the vines where they run across the rows at. That's why you have to really, when you get them all dug, you kind of got to really plow the whole field in between the rows and everything once you get through, because there'll be little taters like this all in the garden everywhere. And we try to get them all up so we have rabbit food and stuff like that. We don't want to just leave them out here to go to waste. But now we got I think 2 more rows to go. Those are the Mr. Owl potatoes, if I'm correct. And we're going to see how they done versus the ones that we've been saving for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. We've been saving our own slips. These are acclimated to our climate and soil here. This is our 2nd year on the Mr. Owl. Evangelines is what they are. We just call them Mr. Owl because we got them from Mr. Owl. But they're the Evangelines. We're going to see how they done through this hard drought that we've been in. 3rd row. We definitely got more taters, but they're starting to rot. We got a lot more insect damage on the 3rd row up here. So we're having to, we're not going to get as many.
It was mainly on this end.
Mainly on this end right here. Now I'm going to tell you something. The very end right here, the first 10 to 15 feet of this row gets full sun all summer long. The rest of this stays in the shade of this big oak up above us here. And every one that we have found that's really bad has been on the end with the full sun all the time. The insect damage, the rotten ones, everything has been on this end. So that tells me that even the sweet potatoes cannot take the full sun all day long on the intense heat and the drought that we've had. So we've learned that. Well, the 4th row has by far been our best row now, but I want to show you something. Had they all made, I want you to look at that. If we hadn't had a drought this year, look how many potatoes is on one of those plants. If they'd all made, that is a great clump of potatoes, but the little old vines didn't have the moisture to grow anything, and the ground is like concrete here. We've done a lot of damage to these potatoes digging them with the plow, because the ground is so hard. A lot of them it just shatters the potato off, breaks them in pieces and stuff. So we're gonna have to, these are gonna have to be used up pretty quick as soon as they cure. Okay, we finished digging. Ooh, the dust storm. The 1, 2, 3, 4th and 5th rows were definitely our best rows. Better soil up the hill here. No Mr. Owl potatoes. We did not find any. Ms. Wanda reminded me of probably why we didn't find any big taters. During the summertime, as plants would die because of no moisture, no rain, I would pull more slips up out of the high tone and bring them out here and replace them. And all we ended up with was our potatoes and a few vines of Mr. Owls that actually survived, and a few vine potatoes, little small ones. And we did find at the very end here, we found some of the white ones. Now, evidently, most of the white ones had died out, and a few of these survived. We found like two or three plants right here on the end that was all whites, and the ground is so hard here. The plow broke them all up real bad, and cracked them. Just because it's like concrete, and it was trying to push them potatoes up out of the ground. It breaks a lot of them. But, I mean, overall, we're going to have some sweet potatoes. All right, we have finished digging these rows now. I'm going to go back and plow through it one more time just to see, but I think we probably got most of them. But we ended up, if you put all of these together, there's about 7 to 7.5 5-gallon buckets here full.
Add one more bucket to that. Danny forgot and set this bucket over to the side. He thought we were going to come by over here and pick them up. So at least 8 buckets.
The one thing we did learn was that the Mr. Owl and the white potatoes this year in the drought was a bust. I mean, that's all we got right there, and they're not good. The rest of them are ours. I mean, the only thing we got on the owl potatoes was, I'm seeing them here, we have these little tiny vine potatoes. And the main plants all died, and I think some of the vines that was up under the other potato vines survived, and that's where these little vine potatoes come from. But to be honest with you, our potatoes that we've been growing for 10 or 15 years here, saving our own slips, are the only ones that actually done anything. And they're not the best, but under the conditions this year, now we don't have an irrigation on this or nothing like that. This is just away from the well and everything. We literally have had 0 rain almost all summer that amounts to anything. And all the 100 and something degree heat indexes for 100 and something days on end, day after day, it just didn't work out to where we could have a really good harvest like we normally do. How well are these going to store? I don't really know. Probably not really well, because so many of them, the ground was so hard, the plow broke them off. They probably are going to have to be, as soon as we give them a week or 2 to cure, I'm sure we're probably going to lose some. Even in the couple of weeks that we're going to try to cure them, Ms. Wanda's going to have to go through every day and try to take out some to eat fresh before they all actually cure and rot. And hopefully, you know, we'll be able to get some out of them to put in jars and can and save some for next year. But to be honest with you, it looks like a lot of potatoes, and it's really not, because there's probably going to end up being 3 5-gallon bucketfuls of these that end up going to the animals, because they're just not fit to eat. You know, I mean, they're either too little, too buggy, or something like that, or maybe they start deteriorating. I mean, little stuff like these little Mr. Owl taters and stuff like this, there's not much we can do with that. I mean, we could boil it and eat the skin and all, I suppose. But we have animals that love them, the rabbits and stuff, and they need feeding too. It is what it is. We did grow the 5 varieties we got from Hoss Tool this year. The Georgia Jets and the Covingtons were the only 2 out of those so far that has really done anything through the drought. Now over at Pecan Grove, we still have the Musaki 29s over there to dig. Don't know how they are. Ms. Wanda dug a couple of them to eat. Didn't care for the taste of them. They were extremely dry. They was okay for stir fry and for making French fries, but other than that, I really just didn't care for the taste of them. So we're going to get those harvested before long. But right now, this is what we have from our own. And this year has not been the best year for sweet potatoes for us, but we are thankful that we got what we got, because we do eat a lot of sweet potatoes. And you know, we were sitting here talking about how are we going to title this video, and honestly, I don't even know what a good title would be for this video, because I don't know if we should call them the drought sweet potatoes, or the 200-day sweet potatoes, or what, because these, we just left them in the ground because the heat was so bad we couldn't harvest them, and we had to wait till a morning like this morning, where we're in the, you know, it was in the 40s when we got up, and now we're in the 50s and 60s because the sun's coming up. So we'd have temperatures that we could harvest them, and we thought maybe we'd get a little rain, but that hasn't happened. And I really want Ms. Wanda, before I get off here, to turn around and show you one of our ponds right here behind us, so you know I'm not telling you a story. Guys, this is our pond in the front here. I want y'all to look at this. We are probably 6 foot below the spillway down. It hasn't rained. There is no grass, just weeds everywhere. And the pond is just about to dry up. What is my man doing, huh? What is my baby boy doing? He loves to be rubbed, yeah. He loves being rubbed. Look at the dirt coming out of his skin. Look at that. That boy loves attention. He loves to be rubbed. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they made a big baby out of you at the petting zoo, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, you're just a big old baby. Well, we feel blessed to have what we have here. Our potatoes, the Deepsouth potatoes was what we call them, because we don't really know what variety they are. It's been so many years of just replanting the same ones over and over. That's the ones we're going to probably stick with. We'll probably stick with a few of the Georgia Jets, a few of the Covingtons in the future, and our potatoes. The rest of them, we may keep a couple of the whites just to see if they make it. But other than that, guys, that's all we're going to keep our own potatoes from this point forward, because it's proven that through the drought they've acclimated to this temperature and this condition and this sandy soil here, and they're doing really, really well. So I'm fixing to get on the tractor and run through here one more time. I'm going to do the middles, and we're going to see if there's anything else left. And thank you guys from Deepsouth Homestead.